All right, what's up, everybody? Good evening to you. What's happening? How's everybody doing? Hope you all are having a good time. We are making some happy little hummingbirds tonight. Can't sleep? I'm sorry. Well, we're going to be doing hummingbird, and we're also going to be doing a flower. Yeah, we're doing both. We're doing hummingbird and flower right now. And then we'll do some sea life. What's up, 5150? All right, so let's get this done. So we're doing purple on the bird real quick. And then we're going to do some purple and pink. So we're going to do a purple body here. So we just have to build it up big enough. A little bit more. And there we go. I hate those little bits that fly off. They're like angry little bits of glass. They just like fly all the time. They're like, bing, all off. I know, I love hummingbirds too. I never get sick and tired of making hummingbirds. I never get tired of them. You know, a lot of people say, how many can you make before you get sick of it? I'm like, a lot. All right, here we go. All right, so we got that little tail extension done. Make sure I'm purple. Yeah, the purple and pink look so much like each other that it's really difficult. So we're going to do pink for the tail and wings and beak. We got the transparent purple for the hummingbird itself, which is kind of cool. I like the transparent purple. It's a unique purple. It actually transforms in different lighting. So LED lights, it looks different. Natural sunlight, it looks different. And then incandescent light, it all shifts. All right, let's get this tail done. There we go. So we are streaming horizontal and vertical tonight. We're going to see how that works. All right, there we go. We'll leave that there. Then we're going to bring it out here and we're going to pop it through. All right, so next step is we're going to create the little area for the head. And we got to put a little hook on it. I'm just going to do the hook out of purple too. I think it'll be nice. So this is very similar to the hummingbird flower we did a little earlier, just a little more custom. Take our time putting a little hook on here. Whenever I teach people, this is like the one thing I always emphasize when you're doing these, especially if you're attaching a flower. You definitely want to add a lot of stability to this. So this is where the bulk of the weight's going to be, and this is where it can definitely fail. So you want to make sure it's all sealed up and they're really, really nice. Let's go ahead and grab some more pink and do the wings. Here we go. Layer after layer. I just had someone ask me if I would teach a class on how to do wings. Like, I don't know about that. Not that I'm worried about teaching it, it's just there's a lot of little nuances that go into these things. All right, there we are. We got little bird going. It's looking fantastic. Then we're going to come over to this side. And we're going to attach. And pull the same thing all the way over here. I love this little loopy swirl that I do here. Oh yeah. Let me get this adhered on here. Couple little eyeballs and we'll show you what we got. Just got to get rid of this little stringer of black right here. There we go. It's like the hardest thing, getting the eyeballs lined up. So if you don't do it, it doesn't work very well. All right, let's check and see how my camera is working here. So we got the bird right there, nice and purple with some pink background on it, wings and tail. We're going to leave that attached and we're going to go ahead and make the flower right now. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to do the flower. We got to do it pink and purple again. Except this time we're going to use a pink base and not the purple. And let's go ahead and do that now. And then we're going to start adding some colors. Now the main thing on this is as you go to make this, you want to add a darker background to it. Because the pink and purple by itself, they kind of blend. They don't like offset each other. So once you add the black in there, it makes it a total difference. All right, let's go ahead and get this all melded in. We're just going to fuse everything in right now. There we go. And here we go. So we're just building up a bunch of bulk right now. I call it bulk, but it's technically a gather, if you want. Yeah, here we go. So we're just going to start pushing this all together. I don't know if I have my other flame. Nope, don't have it hooked up. Sorry, don't need it. So we're going to craft a flower out of solid glass. And we're going to kind of turn it into a little bit of a tubing shape as well. So as we go through this process, I'm going to show you how we create a flower out of solid glass and kind of how to form it into a tulip shape. Not tulip, trumpet shape. I think it's called a trumpet flower. Might be wrong. Trumpet flower? That could be right. And here we go. So we're just dropping it in. A little bit more here. Actually, a lot more. So this is an interesting part about the glass. So as I'm pushing it together, I'm rotating one hand one way and the other the opposite way. I'm actually rotating opposite directions, but blending it in right at this crux where the two are meeting. And for me, it gives a really nice even stem on here. It doesn't leave it bulky. Like lumpy, I guess. I want it bulky, just not lumpy. There we go. That's enough now. Then we just blend the rest of this in. All right, we got a little bit of a teardrop there. That's perfectly fine. We're going to separate this and we'll start adding colors to it. So the first color I am actually going to add is black, because black will be the one that dominates the color if you're not careful. So I want the black as a contrast, meaning in the background. So we're going to grab that black real quick. We're going to spin it up in the flame. So we have that little kind of teardrop shape right there. We're going to heat it up and spin it up in the flame and transfer it from there. And then we'll add a little bit of opaque pink and some dark purple. So you can see how we're kind of spin trailing that glass on there. There we go. I want to check one more camera view here. I don't think this one does. Oh yeah, that works. Yeah, that's a good view. We'll use it to spin some of the color up. So right now we got the black on there. We're going to take that opaque pink and we're going to spin trail that on there. Keep your eye down right around this area where I'm kind of shaking the glass right here. It's kind of the area where you're going to see all the action. Ooh. I hate that. So that happens when the rods heat up and cool down, and they kind of self-crack. Not all of them do that. Only these kind of funky colors. That's okay though, because we were blending it anyhow. Those are what you call shocky colors. That was fine. I'm blending it anyway. We're going to create a chaos swirl anyhow. So it's not a big deal. I just want to get the color on there right now. Bring this over there for that view. Yeah, that actually looks good. Okay, so we're going to use a dark purple now. This one looks very light right now, but once we get it heated up, it's going to go pretty dark. There we go. All right, so now we got a bunch of color kind of encircled around this whole thing. Next step is we're going to grab a clear glass rod and we're going to go through and smear it together. Or we'll try striping it down all the way first, maybe do it that way. We'll see how it looks. Although I think I want to smear it. I think that's going to look better. These colors definitely need some love. Let me do a little bit more and I'll show you kind of what it looks like before we get too far along. See, this is what I was saying. We're smearing it, finger painting it anyway, so it doesn't really matter how we lay the color down. But there you can see the definite lines, and then we smeared them all together that way. It's basically finger painting. It's very much like finger painting. All right, let's go ahead and get this other portion done all the way around. Then we're going to turn this to an actual flower. And I'll show you how to make a flower out of solid glass. Kind of turn it into its own tubing shape. And we do that process with needle nose pliers. We're just going to kind of smush and push. You ever have that grandma that smush your ears? Same thing. All right. Yeah, we're looking good. Okay, so there we are. We got it all kind of blended together now. We're going to take that and we're going to smooth it out just a tiny bit. And then we're going to bring it over, flatten it. And then we're going to take our needle nose pliers and start the formation of the flower. So step number one, get it all blended together. I love this process here. I love the finger painting process. Very much reminds me of Bob Ross. Kind of like Happy Little Accidents. I used to love watching Bob Ross. I still watch it every once in a while. All right, let's get this other end smoothed out a little. So we're going to superheat it, and then we're going to pull it a little thinner. Right now it looks really bulky like me. It's kind of like me. It needs a diet. It's bulky. Look at that. pull it down. So we pull it down just like that. Now I'll use the rest of this when we get to it later. We're going to create a nice vine with it, like a vine. But for right now, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to separate this. Clean up this front end just a little bit. There we go. This is a fun process. When that breaks off, that is not a fun process. All right, we're going to change the camera view back up so you guys can get a full view. All right, so we got to heat it up, and then we're going to flatten it up right in this area up here. So that's where we'll be pushing the glass down, creating a little disc. It's going to create a little bit of a disc. It's going to be pretty amazing. All right, here we go. We're just going to heat it up. Okay, we bring it over and let it smush really nice and easy. All right, so now we got that disc going. And next step, we'll come back out and we'll try it right up close. This way you guys get an actual visual of what's happening with it. So we're going to take our needle nose pliers, just an ordinary basic pair of needle nose pliers, and we're going to come through and we're just going to smush. Got a little cold right there. There we go. So we kind of created a little opening in it right like that, so it's not all solid anymore. We're going to use a tool to kind of straighten it out just a touch. Really? Where'd that go? Oh, that got buried. All right, so we're just going to open it up a tiny bit first. Like that. So we just wanted to touch it open just a little bit. So from here, we're going to actually superheat it, and we're going to use centrifugal force to open it all the way up. So we just got to get it super molten. We'll flip the glass around a couple times really fast, and the glass will flare out. Once it gets molten, all right, we're there. So we'll bring it out. We'll flip it a little bit more. Creates a flat disc, flattish. Then you just take that and you just kind of heat it back up. Let it start dripping naturally just a little bit. Then we start shaping it. There we go. Actually, this flower looks really good. I am not disappointed with it. All right, let's go ahead and create the vine real quick. Then I'll show you what we ended up with it. I'm actually not disappointed with it at all. Next step is we got to do what's called a taffy pull. It is just like pulling saltwater taffy. You just simply fold, lock, fold. Like that. I'm going to try and do this on the bottom side of the torch so you guys get a view of it. Bring it out this way. Bring it up. Then we take and flip, loop, swoop, and droop. Oh, heck yeah. I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. Let's see if we can get a little light on the subject. I don't know if you guys will be able to catch that, but we definitely got some purples bouncing through it. It's looking really fantastic. Let's go ahead and grab our hummingbird and assemble. There we are, assembled. Woo. That didn't sound good. I do want to bend that down a little bit. Thought I heard a crack, but we're going to check it. Oh, yeah, we got a tiny little crack in there. All right. That's my fault. But I want to show you something awesome about that. Not a single damage. Look at that. Is that bird strong or what? All right, we're halfway done. Let's get rid of that. It didn't want to be this color. I love the color, but it didn't like it. So we're going to redo it. It obviously didn't like it. I just don't want to make sure this doesn't fall apart on me anymore and explode all over the bench. But that bird surviving was pretty amazing. I told you my hummingbirds are bulletproof. Almost. All right, let's go ahead and let's do this again. Let's try it again without the fail. All right, we're going to do some purple and pink this time. We're going to stabilize it a little better. Except this time I'm going to go ahead and add in the super flame. Let's just kick it in all the way. I just got to make sure I don't grab anything that's that hot little shards everywhere. Those suck. All right, let's do it again. I knew I heard it crack. I should have put it in the kiln right away, but I didn't do it. Totally my fault. We're going to try that again. There we are. So that's the thing about live stream too. I see so many glassblowing videos where people are like, show you only the best takes. I'll show you the mess ups because I'm live. I am not afraid of it. All right. Lots of purple on here. Let's try this again without the fail. All right, we got to do black again. That is the core. The crux of what makes all the rest of the color pop. Actually, you know what? I think I got a dark purple here. Nope, that's blue. I thought I grabbed dark purple, but I did not. Like a transparent dark purple. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to pop it around and just swoop it all the way. Okay, we got black on. Let's go ahead and grab pink. Hopefully this one doesn't crack on me. Again, I don't care how it's laying on here. I just need color on it. So we're going to be mixing it up anyway, so it's not going to be a big deal. I don't know why, but it got hot in here. Now those little ends popping off like that is totally normal. All right, we're going to use this other purple here. All right, we got that purple on, transparent. We got transparent purple, pink, and a opaque purple as well. We're going to go ahead and mix it up real quick. Do that finger painting technique again. And here we go. Nice and easy. Okay, I got to let this settle down for a second. It's getting a little floppy there. Oh, we'll pop it in. Sorry. Right there. We'll bring it up So we got the line still right there, but the rest of it's all finger painted together. So this is what we did originally, and we're transforming it to that. Which is a pretty awesome deal here. I got to be honest. It's pretty freaking awesome. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and start finger painting the rest of this. And like that, we're good. All right, next step, we got to reblend it again, pull it down a little. Okay, if you are watching on vertical stream, type vertical in the chat. If you're watching on horizontal, type horizontal. I want to see who's watching on what. Be kind of cool to know. Right now we're making we made the hummingbird and flower, but when I made the hummingbird and flower, had it all assembled, and yeah, it exploded. It definitely exploded. But the bird survived. Vertical, 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 vertical. Awesome. Horizontal. Awesome. I'm glad you're watching. I think the horizontal looks good, to be honest. Vertical's cool, but the horizontal looks really good. All right, Melissa. Okay, so here we go. We're stretching this out. We're going to go ahead and make the top portion again. We're going to use the needle nose pliers again and flatten it all out. Again, this time we're going to do it without the fail. But I'm going to try a little something here real quick. We're going to separate that. We're going to take a little bit of the, I thought I had a shorter pink rod, nope, purple. We're going to add a little bit of clear right in the center here. A little bit of clear. Thank you for chatting that away too. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know. Much appreciated. All right, so we're adding a little clear here. I'm hoping that it kind of envelops around, creates a little bit of a clear window on the inside of the flower this time. Maybe that's why it blew up. It needed the clear window or transparent. There we go. All right, we got to pop it back out because we are doing smushy smushy. Right now I'm making a little flower. We made a hummingbird earlier. I had it attached to a flower and I blew it up. It's like one of those commercials where it's like we all do dumb things. Yeah, that was a dumb thing. Okay, next step, we're going to pull it back in close up. Here we go. So you guys can see the action. We're going to start squishing all the way around. Go a little faster this time. There we go. Ooh, it's hot today. Hot for nighttime. So we created just this little kind of bowl shape. Not even going to organize it too much. We're just going to pull it right off the bat. We're going to grab it. I'm going to straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to create the vine portion. Yeah, I actually do like this a little better. Maybe this is why it cracked. The last one did. Maybe it just wanted to be this. I'm definitely not angry at it. Can't get angry at the glass. It just does its own thing. All right, here we go. So we're going to do the taffy fold. Not going to do too much of it, though. This has a lot of color through it already. Probably one more little fold. Like that. And we'll pull it down. So this is the cool part where we stretch. And then you bring it down, let it loop, push it down. Give it a little help right there, push it back up. Give it a nice little twist. Like that. Lots of bends. But I just want it to look like a twisted vine. Separate here. Then we're going to grab our hummingbird, our super hummingbird that survived. Yeah, not a damn thing broken on this thing. Look at that. Took a big fall, took a ticking and took a licking and kept on ticking. There we go. Remember that? Yeah, I can't leave it out too long. Obviously, I don't want to break a second one, but there we go. We got all the colors bouncing through it now. We got pinks, purples, and I like it. I like pink and purple. I love it, actually. I think it looks good. I'm going to grab it here, and we're going to separate that off. There we go. So there, we got a little hummingbird sculpture. Yeah, I like pink and purple. I have no idea why, but I've always wanted like a hot pink Volkswagen Bug. Like, not light pink, I'm talking hot, hot pink and black. Pink and black. I don't know why. I think it's a great combo. All right, we're going to do something I haven't done in a while. I need to practice. Let's bring it up. We're going to do a blown swan. You guys ever seen a blown swan? We're going to do that. We're going to make us a blown swan. Mixed with non-glowing dark black. Oh yeah, absolutely. We can do glows green and mixed with non-glowing dark black for sure. Did you, Melissa? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to do a mini blown swan. I'm going to show you guys how it's done. I haven't done one in a while, but I got to get back to practicing because summer's coming up, and these make really cool little mini flower vases. So here we go. We're going to bring it down. Nice little pull. There we go. And we're going to separate here. Then we need a temporary little holding rod. Need to find a good length one though. Can't be too long. They literally have to be just the right length. Ah, there we go. Perfect. So let's go ahead and preheat this. I need a good view here. Nope. Oh, maybe we'll go that. Yeah, we'll do this one. This way you guys can see every single angle of what happens. Thank you for the lucky clover, KCH. Okay, here we go. We're gonna grab this little end here. We're gonna butt up to it. This will be fun because you get to see it in every single angle. Okay. So we got just a straight old tube like that. Okay, nothing big, just a straight up tube. We're going to heat this back end up a little, not overheating. Okay, this is the key. You do not want to overheat this. Let's get it nice and orange, not white hot. Okay, bring it out, let it cool off just a second, give it a push of air. Like that. Creates a little bubble. Then we got to use a small flame here. All right, this is where you can completely go south. I haven't done one in a while, so it might actually go bad. We might be breaking bad here. All right, here we go. We're going to bring it out. Going to pull. There we go. We're so far so good. We got to pop the little hole in here. This is where the flowers will go. Oh, you guys are in for a treat. And then we're going to finish off the little beak here. Here we go. We're going to bring it down. Okay, so there we are. We got, sorry, I got the wrong view on you. There we are. So far, so good. We got to flatten it, because otherwise it's going to be a weeble wobble. All right, it's flat. So we just put a little flat spot on it. Then we got to open this hole up and make sure it's nice and round. We may get a whistle, so pay attention to the sound. Yeah, we got a whistle. I always think it sounds like a train. Then we finish off the back end. Yeah, I love that whistle. Toot toot. And we got to give a little tail to it. And that is the swan. Let's go ahead and bring it back up here. I'll see if it sits. Sometimes if I haven't practiced in a while, I don't get him to sit that well. Nope. All right, we got to flatten it again. All right, let's see if I got it this time. If not, I got to move the neck. It's a little wonky. We're just going to do this. There we go. All right, let's see if that worked. There we go. And that's the testing right there. So this is how you pressure test your swans. Oh, wrong way. Oh, see, that's a fail. So that's why you pressure test it on the beginning. So what happened there is I got the neck too thin. So that tells me the next one I got to do a little bit thicker. And I do drop them all the time, mainly because customers are going to get them and drop them. I mean, that's just a fact. So I do it so that I ensure that my product is super stable. So you take it, you break it up, and you see if it can survive drops. And if it doesn't, then it can't go out to a customer. That's the way it works. Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm not mad. That just told me I need to make it thicker again. It's been a long time since I made them. So we'll do another one, and hopefully this one's better. A balancing bird in black and glowing green. I haven't done a balancing bird in a long time. You're talking about the one with the water inside? I'm sorry, Susan. That's what I was saying, Dragonfly. I think it's been like 6 months. I know the swan testing out in the yard. That's how you really test it. So on my TikTok, I don't know if I have it on YouTube. Maybe I should show that on YouTube. So I took a swan and I threw it in the yard to see if it could fly. And that survives. But yeah, one of the jobs of this, one of the things you got to do in this job is you have to ensure that your stuff can survive. You know, you can make the most intricate piece in the world, but if someone breaks it, it's useless. And in reality, that swan should not have fallen over and broken. So yeah, it wouldn't be a sellable item for me. Maybe it would be for other glass blowers, just not me. All right, let's do this again. We're going to blow the body out here. I also think I did it too big. This tubing is not very big, and it needs to not be stretched out too thin. So there's the bubble, like that. Now we're going to go in between a large flame and a small one here, because this will help make, oh, that actually will work right there. So this will help make the neck a little stronger now. I'm going to bring it out. So we're going to bring it out, fold it over. Give it a little pressure. There we go. Okay, we got to pop a little hole in it. The head's a little bit small, but hey, like I said, I haven't done these in a while. It takes me like 3 or 4 to get down. But I figured I'd show it to you anyway. Besides, who doesn't like the train whistle? Actually, it's not that bad. It's a little off. All right, let's go ahead and flatten. No, we got to do the whistle first. All right, here we go. Train whistle. Maybe. Not so good. Yeah, you got to do it back and forth. If you leave the flame on there, the hole just opens all the way up really bad. Yeah, I definitely need some work on this. I need to do like a day of these. All right. Let's try that again. Trying to sit on the marble mold. Okay, there we go. All right, that'll live. That's how you test it. Oh, it does make, practice does, definitely makes perfect on that, for sure. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. All right, this was a short stream. I just wanted to test horizontal and vertical. We got it both going together. It looks really good. So I'm going to call it for the night. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for hanging out with me for an hour. It was a pleasure to have you along for the ride. And hopefully you got to see some really crazy stuff like breaking swans and breaking flowers. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I should be on tomorrow morning too.